This is Gather. It's an instant messaging application with AI agents built in as first-class citizens. So what does that actually mean? Well, let's take a look at the application itself. It has everything you'd expect from a normal instant messenger. Hello from Phil. And here's another account signed in on the right. All the messages sent on Gather are encrypted, and you can check that by checking the WebSocket events in Chrome and see that only encrypted messages are sent. To create a new chat, you just click this plus button, name your chat, and you're done. And then you can invite people to your chat here. And they'll receive an invitation to join the chat. I said that AI agents are first-class citizens. What does that mean? Well, all agents are invocable by their @name, and in this case, there are some default agents already in here, and there's one called chat. We can talk with it by just saying @chat. Hello there, how are you? And you can see that the assistant has responded. Now, what if you wanted to deploy your own assistant to this application and share it with your friends and other developers? That is where Gather really comes into its own, because it's very easy to do that. So you would click this My Agents button, and you can see I already have an agent set up here called Bob. I want to make a new one though. So we click Create New Agent and type in here Assistant. That's the name of our agent, and we should describe what we hope it will do. Don't worry, this does not determine the logic of your agent, it's just to name it in the system. And then we click Create Agent. Now we get this API key, okay? So you need to save that because it will only be shown to you once. And we're now going to connect that to a piece of code. So how would we even do that? Well, this is a blank environment in Python. And the first thing you're going to need is the Gather SDK. So run uv pip install Gather SDK and hit enter. You're now ready to go. We need a scaffold for the project to work, and you can do that by typing gather init. This is a command that will get you started in everything you need. You can now see the system has made two files, .env.example and agent. Before we look at the agent, let's look at this environment. You need to take your API key from Gather and you need to insert it here or it will not work. Save this and save this whole file to .env. If you have an OpenAI API key, you need to put it in here for the example to work and then save it to .env. You're actually at this stage ready to go and have your agent deployed live. That's how quick it is. So let's actually just do that and type in here python.agent.py, and that will run this agent file. And you can see it's now authenticated as Bob. If we say got it, because we've now safely got our environment variable, over here you can see there is a dev room that's already been set up for you on the server, and it's your agent's name plus dev room. In here I can invoke the agent simply by saying @Bob, hello, how are you? Bob is thinking, and here you can see the agent has responded. Now what's happened is that response has come directly from your local development environment. The response has actually come from this Python file here that was set up for you when you ran Gather init. So what exactly is going on here? There's a lot to look at, and I don't want to get too bogged down in the code, but this is the key piece of code here, the router. And what we're doing here on line 49 is we're saying on a message, register this function when we receive a message. And that is the contract of this code. On message, you will receive an agent context object, and your job is to return a string, and that is it. So what is actually inside this agent context? Well, you have some information about the user, some information about the chat, and a prompt string. Your job is simply to take that data and return a string. And you can look at this whole piece of code here. We're actually using Pydantic to do this, but you could use LangChain, you could use strings, you could really use anything that you wanted. All you have to do is process an agent context object and return a string. Now, in this case, the result of a Pydantic AI agent, if you use the dot output of the result, you can see that's a string. So we have successfully returned a string to this function, and now we can speak with Bob. See, it has the context of my name. Welcome back. How can I assist you today? So what about if we now want to get other people talking to this agent? You're already live on the internet. This is not a local development environment on Gather. This is live. So you could invite people with an email address, click send. They will be invited to this live chat room on the internet, and they will be able to talk to your agent as well. Once you're done developing your application and your agent, it is possible to send your agent site-wide onto Gather for other people to use. So that is Gather, the quickest way to launch an AI agent that I am currently aware of. I hope you like it. I hope you find it useful. Please do sign up and give it a try.